Hello my lovelies and welcome back to my channel. My name is Angelique. Didn't get him, bro. We have a lot of houseplants and they're like giving us a fungus gnat issue that we are working on, but they are the bane of my existence. So I got him. So anyway, welcome to my channel. If you saw my last video, well, not my last video, the video before my last video, you would know that I did my very first ever TBR Jar Picks My January Reads, which is going well. Kind of. I'm reading A River Enchanted right now and I'm loving it. I'm like halfway through, but it is already basically the middle of January and that's all the progress that I've made so far because, as you know, I've been reading my manuscript and I need to read that twice this month. So I'm halfway through my manuscript and I'm halfway through A River Enchanted by Rebecca Ross. So I have been reading. I just haven't made the progress by this time that I would have wanted to. So I thought it would be a good idea to do a 24-hour readathon, my first ever. I love watching these videos and it always amazes me how many books people get through in 24 hours. Let me start off by saying I will be sleeping. I will be sleeping. I'm not gonna try to stay up for 24 hours like some people do. I'm just gonna set a timer and whatever 24 hours is from then is when I will stop, but I'm definitely going to sleep. So we'll see how much I can read in that amount of time. I'm gonna start off with A River Enchanted and hopefully finish that. Here are the other 4 books that I had picked out from my TBR jar. So these are my options for this video. We have The Midnight Library by Matt Haig, Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard, Beartown by Frederick Bachman, and Happy Place by Emily Henry. I am so torn. I don't know which one to prioritize. This one seems like such a lighthearted read. Red Queen is obviously a fantasy, so that's gonna be more of like world building. I feel like I'm gonna have to pay closer attention and it may be a little more dense of a read to try to like squeeze in 24 hours. I've heard Beartown is very engrossing. Like it's just really touching, a beautiful story. I know his writing is so good, but these two are also series. So that would mean I'm starting a series. And then Happy Place is just very summer and it's January. So I'm not saying I'm avoiding it, but I don't know what to do. I'm probably gonna skim through once I finish A River Enchanted and then decide what mood I'm in to figure out what I wanna read next. But before we officially get into the readathon, let's go completely off topic and I wanna show you some skincare that I just bought. I went down the TikTok skincare rabbit hole because I was running low on like all of my products. I'm not gonna spend too much time on this, but I did just wanna share it in case anybody cares. So The Ordinary, their glycolic acid 7% exfoliating toner. This is gonna sound weird, but I'm trying to get on a natural kick with deodorant. I sweat a lot, mainly from my underarms. When I use deodorant with aluminum and a lot of antiperspirants, my underarms get like charcoal, like dark, and I hate that because I feel like the toxins can't come out. But then because I sweat so much, if I just use aluminum-free regular deodorant, it smells sooner. Like I don't want to be stinky. I work at a hospital. I have to like reach over people all the time. That's not going to cut it. So I did some research and I found out that if you have this issue or if you're interested in going a little bit more natural with your deodorant, this actually neutralizes the bacteria that causes BO. So you can use this with an aluminum-free deodorant and not have to worry about stinking. If you can hear that, my tea is boiling. One moment. Oh. I have my peppermint tea with honey, which is my favorite tea ever. What I was saying was, if anybody cares or has that issue or wants to treat your underarms like they are part of your actual health, which I think they are, that is an option for you. And I used it for the first time today. So far, so good. Paired with that, if you haven't yet, I found this product as well, the Saltaire Saltwater Vanilla AHA Serum Deodorant. I layered this on top of that as my deodorant. Oh my God, y'all, this scent, this vanilla scent, oh my God, it's so heavenly. It's not like a little girl vanilla. It is so sexy and delicious. That's good. I'm not good at drinking hot things, but that's good. Let's get this readathon started. It is 11:27 a.m., so essentially it's 11:30. I am gonna start my timer. So here's my timer. I'm setting it for 24 hours, starting right now. Oh my gosh. All right, I better get started. So I do have A River Enchanted both on my Kindle Unlimited and on my audiobook. So that'll help me as I'm running errands today or as I'm cooking, I can still be reading. So yeah, let's get into it and I will check back with you guys when I have made more progress.
Thought, assessing the valley.
To order otherwise. The cloud came eerie, her eyes rimmed in red. Don't you hear how Henry
Okay, so it is time for a check-in. I just finished A River Enchanted by Rebecca Ross. I don't know if you can tell, but it is much darker now. It is officially the evening. So it is 6 o'clock, and that was a much longer book than I expected, and I feel like that's the thing sometimes that gets me with Kindle and with audiobooks. I don't really know what I'm getting myself into unless I like intentionally look at the page numbers or how long it's gonna take me to read it. I don't pay attention to that stuff as much. I just finished it and I really liked it. I really like her writing. Rebecca Ross has very lyrical prose. Her descriptions make me feel so engrossed in the setting. And I love how poetic she is with her wording. I felt like it was a little bit too long. Not gonna lie. I started to feel like there were some things in the middle, in the second act, that were being brought up too many times, or we were revisiting, restating. I just was like, okay, let's keep it going. And that was the only real issue that I had. It was more of a mystery than I expected. In A River Enchanted, a Scottish boy was living on the mainland of Scotland, and he had to go back to the islands to visit his family because he was summoned back. And once he gets there, he finds out a lot about the history of where he's from and who he is and who the people that he grew up with really are. What's interesting about it is there's two different clans sharing the same island, but they're like arch nemesis. They hate each other, they kill each other, they raid, and because of that there were certain mysteries that were happening that a big portion of the plot was about figuring out. And I can be a little bit hit or miss with how I feel about mysteries, just because sometimes I feel a little bit on the outs. I feel like not involved with the plot because there's just so many things to wonder about, and I like to feel a little bit more in the know when I'm reading a book. So sometimes I can get a little bit turned off by that aspect, but it was done really well, I think. I really liked the romance. It was like enemies to lovers romance, which was really unexpected. I didn't, as you can tell, really look into this book at all. I like to go into books kind of blind sometimes, but I would say it's like a solid 4-star read for me. There is a second book in the series, which I'll probably give a try. As of right now, I'm not like feeling like I have to pick it up right now, but it's always good to know that I'm in the middle of this series, and if I feel like it's there. I really liked the magic system in this book. I think magic systems are so cool, especially elemental magic, and in the book I'm writing, I'm actually writing elemental magic. So this was really cool for me to read right now. And in a way, I'm not gonna lie, I think I could use this as a comp when I query agents because there are some aspects to the magic system that are incredibly similar. So I'm keeping that in the back of my mind. It took me kind of this long to finish that audiobook because I was doing a bunch of other things. I had to cook, and then I did my nails as I was showing you. I actually love this color. It's been so long since I've done my nails. My hands have just been neglected. So I'm actually really excited. This is OPI nail polish. It is in the shade Meet Me on the Star Fairy. I think it's perfect for fall and winter. I'm trying to think, is there anything else that I want to say about that book? Oh, that's one thing I did want to say. What I really liked about this book, it read more mythology than fantasy to me. I felt like I was reading about lore, like folklore. Some of the ways that the world building worked felt like some things you just take at face value because that is how a legend sounds. That is how a folklore sounds. When they say something fantastical happened, you don't question it as much because it's mythology. It's not, as far as I know, based on a true mythology story, maybe elements. I know there's a lot of like Celtic culture in this writing. It literally reminded me of reading Greek mythology. So I really liked that aspect of it, and I feel like it helped a lot for me to get lost in her prose, which I love. Oh yeah, one more big update that I forgot to mention. If you saw my last video, you know that I spilled water all over my laptop, which is a huge deal because I'm literally in the middle of, well, not in the middle, I'm gonna get back into editing my manuscript and I'm gonna start draft 2. But right as I was getting geared up to do that, I ruined my laptop. So today I actually found a really good deal on Facebook Marketplace. I've been talking to them for a few days now, and I went and picked it up and I got a really good deal. So I have my new MacBook. It's resetting right now. Don't fret. This will not slow me down in my journey. It's just gonna be better than what I had before. So we're looking at it as a plus side. And I got a really good deal on it. That's a part of why I feel like I was behind, even though I was listening to the audiobook on the drive. I don't know, I just feel like I've had a crazy day. Before I talk too much, because I only have, let's see, time update, 17 hours and 20 minutes left. What am I gonna go for next? I don't know. I feel like I want something so different from what I just read that I should do Happy Place. Like all of these are still in the same vein of either depth or magical realism or fantasy, and I just was in that space. So I think I'm gonna do a contemporary romance and start my Emily Henry journey, which is so exciting because I know so many people love Emily Henry. I feel like she has a very divided opinion on her, which I guess all authors do. Honestly, art and writing is so subjective. Only take good reads with a grain of salt. Everyone is different. But I know she has a huge fan base, and I have so many of her books that I'm excited to finally read her writing and see what it feels like to be in that space. I don't actually know the synopsis. Think of your happy place. Harriet and Wynne have been the perfect couple since they met in college. They go together like salt and pepper, honey and tea, lobster and rolls. Except now, for reasons they're still not discussing, they don't. They broke up 5 months ago and still haven't told their best friends. I do remember that. In my last video, I read up to there, and it's a second chance romance, which is how they find themselves sharing a bedroom. Okay, so we have forced proximity at the main cottage that has been their friends group yearly getaway for the last decade. Only this year, Harriet and Wynne are lying through their teeth while trying not to notice how desperately they still want each other. Are they fake dating? After years of being in love, how hard can it be to fake it for 1 week in front of those who know you best? Okay, so second chance romance, fake dating, and forced proximity. It doesn't get much more contemporary romance tropey than that. So I actually really liked, even just reading that, it felt so modern, which typically when I read, I like to escape into fantasy, but because I think I just read for so long at a time, I usually really just read at night. I'm fine with like changing it up. Like I'm excited for that, even though this is so summer. I keep saying that, I'm a broken record. I'm gonna start Happy Place officially by Emily Henry, and we'll see how long it takes me to finish this. I've never read a book in a day, and it just took me forever to read half a book. So let's see how much of this I can get finished, and let me stop talking before I run out of time. Morning. It is the next day. I have 2.5 hours left, basically. I guess I'm not a fast reader, you guys, which is okay. I don't ever want to read for like the numbers. Do you know what I mean? I feel like a lot of times on BookTube or Book Talk, we can get caught up in how many books we're reading. First of all, I don't think I am capable of devouring a book at that pace. Like I just process things slowly. That's just a part of who I am. I've noticed that as a writer as well. I think and I write very slowly, and maybe it's just that I'm intentional. I tend to be very thorough. I feel like I've done a pretty good job of reading so far. I'm 82 pages into Happy Place, and I finished half of a book yesterday. So like that's not bad, but I just want to point out that like I'm going to try to not be the kind of reader who gets caught up in trying to hit a goal of like, I have to read 4 books. I have to read 3 books in the 24-hour readathon, or I have to read over 100 books in a year for my yearly wrap up. When I'm reading, I really want to be reading the way I need to experience the story in the best way for me. I guess that just means I'm probably gonna read like half of this book by the end of the day, who knows? But that's just gonna have to be okay. As a little bit of a check-in right now for Happy Place. By the way, look at how cute this book is without the sleeve. I love it. So far, I'm really liking her writing. She is so good at dialogue. She is so good at quirkiness. Like the main character in this book, Harriet, is incredibly quirky. And I love that it's giving me like the vibes of a rom-com. It feels like something that would be in like a TV show or an early 2000s movie. And Emily Henry is funny. Like I have actually been laughing out loud. Like there's been certain lines in the dialogue in the back and forth where I am just cackling. And I really like that. Her dialogue feels very real. It doesn't feel forced or sound cringy. The conversations are so witty. It's a good time. She's a good time. I'm already really liking the friend group. The feeling of like found family was immediate, and found family is one of my favorite tropes. Like, it gives me such a warm and fuzzy feeling. So as far as the plot goes, I'm only 80 pages in, so I don't really know how that's gonna unfold and how I'm gonna feel about all of that. But her writing style already and the different characters and their personalities are amazing so far. Oh yeah, and the other thing I really like is that I didn't know it was gonna be a dual timeline. So we're kind of like in the present, but then we're getting but then we're getting context by going back in time. And it's kind of like flip-flopping each chapter, and that's really nice. I find that to be a really engaging writing style. And I was a little bit confused at how the fake dating situation was going to be justified. A lot of times I feel like that kind of trope can feel forced or not realistic enough, because obviously there's this element of it that's going to be exaggerated and quirky and fun, but I do like when a story is grounded in justifiable reasons that don't make me question the plot or question what I'm reading. And yeah, so at first with the fake dating, I was like, is this gonna feel necessary, or is this just gonna feel like it was thrown in there for a plot device? And then as the context unfolded for the fake dating, it just got more and more and more justified, where even I was like, yeah, y'all are stuck. Like, there's nothing you guys can do about the situation. You're between a rock and a hard place. So I really enjoyed that because it kept me hooked into why that trope was even involved to begin with. And I think that's something, and obviously I'm thinking about this as a writer right now, less as a reader, but I think that can be sometimes, tropes can be thrown into books and not justified. It's just in there because they want to say it's in there. But I felt like reading this, it's a fun, lighthearted read. But so far, the like unrealistic nature of the situation has been justified. And I do really like that. It makes it even more fun for me because now the stakes are real, the stakes are high. I'm enjoying it if you can't tell. I've got a lot to say about the first 80 pages. So I'm gonna keep going. The thing that sucks about my schedule today, I do have an appointment with my psychiatrist at 10 o'clock. So that's gonna take away from some of my reading time, but I'm gonna read as much as I can. I'm so tired. I didn't like stay up super late to read, but I did read a lot last night. I will just say, I feel like I could have read more if I could have found the audiobook to Happy Place, because there were a lot of moments like when I had to eat or when I was showering or just doing other things and I couldn't be physically holding this and reading. That got into my time a little bit, but it wasn't available on Libby. I need to figure out our Spotify situation because my husband is like the main holder of the account, and so he's the only one that has access to all the audiobooks. So I don't know if that can be fixed. But anyway, I made it to page 158 in Happy Place, which I'm really enjoying. It is a very fun read. I feel like this is just a page turner. Like, it's so conversational and lighthearted and funny. It doesn't feel like my mind has to think a lot, which sometimes with fantasy, I have to reread sentences or paragraphs or sometimes even pages to like figure something out. This is such an easy read. And I like that. I feel like I needed that. The only qualm that I have about this book so far, because I am just under halfway through, it is so centered around the romance. We're not really getting a break from them at all. Like, every single scene, whether it's present day or in the past, is centered around this one romance. And sometimes in a romance, I like it when they break away or have more independence or more of their own life to like think things through. But I feel like in almost every single scene, they're together interacting. I just don't have an opportunity to miss their dynamic at all. It's very vulnerable, gushy. I am explaining how much I love this person Secretly Now and how much I loved them then in every single scene. It's not like I'm not enjoying it. It is a very enjoyable read. I really like her writing style. It's really simple, and sometimes you need that. Like, I feel like her books are probably going to be really good palette cleansers for me, because so far I wouldn't say there's very many deep themes, which I tend to like a lot in romances. Like, for instance, Abby Jimenez, Just for the Summer. I really liked how that book balanced deeper themes and also the individual characters' lives, and then the moments when they came together felt even more special because it wasn't constant. I mean, this is just, as far as this book goes, I find that it's not dealing with really anything very heavy, but it's a nice like in-between read, and it's a quick one too. So I'm gonna keep reading, of course, and in my January wrap-up I'll tell you my thoughts on the entire book. But that was it. I hope this was enjoyable. I finished A River Enchanted and I got about halfway through Happy Place. I'm really enjoying both of them so far, and I think that maybe I can just try to do readathons more consistently, like once a month or something like that, especially as I'm continuing to write. It's nice to just dedicate a block of time where I'm like, you're not writing, you're just reading. And only one day, that doesn't take away much from my schedule. I hope you enjoyed. Please comment what your thoughts were on these books, if you've read them or if you're interested in reading them. Comment any other books you think that I would like. These are the other 3 that I haven't gotten to yet for my January TBR. I'll probably be able to finish this and do at least one more of these. The ones I don't get to will go back on the shelf for next month's. But thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't yet, consider subscribing, give me a like. I really appreciate your support, and I will see you guys in the next video.